One of the names that stuck with the XFL through thick and thin over the past couple years, especially over the last couple months, has been Jeffrey Pollack. And today we learned through Mike Mitchell that according to reliable sources, and as expected by many, XFL President and COO Jeffrey Pollack will continue to play a major role in the league going forward. President and CEO still, Commissioner, CEO, that's to be determined. But we do know one thing, according to our own Mike Mitchell, is that Jeffrey Pollack is back. He led the league admirably during the whole shutdown, bankruptcy, and sale process. With Oliver Luck out of the picture, the obvious question is whether Pollack is being considered for a commissioner spot, which he doesn't have the football player background, but he has the business background and worked with the Chargers before. As someone who has been intimately involved in the league's operations, he was really uniquely qualified more than anybody else. Our own Josh Davis was quick to point out, quote, Pollack has been the figure working behind the scenes with team venues and execs, getting everything lined up during the whole bankruptcy process, close quote. So he's been a major factor in this league, and to have him continue is a huge asset for the XFL. He not only worked closely with the team presidents, he hired them all, as well as hired a bunch of other key people in the XFL. So it's not surprising, a super surprise that Pollack is staying on board is a great reassurance for the league's future prospects. Getting its teams back up and running is a huge initial step to putting the league back together. And he will be an essential part of this process regardless of his title. The same goes for working out deals with television, stadiums, and etc. Pollack has worked the XFL since January of 2019 and brings an extensive resume in the sports world to the table. As the commissioner of World Series of Poker, he brought the tournament to the media market and used his expertise in marketing and partnerships to catapult it to success. Having served in key leadership roles in the NBA, NASCAR, and in the NFL with the Chargers, few know the varied industry landscapes better, and his skills as marketing executive has made him a highly sought-after entity. I mean, you're talking about this league was a home run due in part by this guy. His long-standing ties with ESPN go back to the late 90s when his publication, The Sports Industry Daily, was the network's industry insider. Pollack also happened to be the half-brother of long-standing NHL commissioner Gary Bettman. The NHL has done well in contending with the COVID deal, and this connection can prove invaluable if the XFL ends up needing to facilitate some sort of bubble season. He can learn something from his half-brother as well. After a long period of radio silence from the XFL, it's good to hear about how things are coming into form, and news of Pollack's continued involvement in the league is fantastic news for all of us. Now, we did see from the Zoom meeting a couple days ago, it appears that Danny and The Rock are working hand in hand with Pollack and his skeleton crew to get things up and running as we speak. Look for, hopefully, some information and some big announcements in the next week or so from the XFL.